What's up, guys? I'm Anthony, and welcome to Life with Anthony. Happy Wednesday to you guys. I hope that everyone is doing well out there. I'm going to get right into this work story time, but before I get into the story, I need to give you guys a short backstory because this backstory is very important to the event that happened on the night that I did not go to work. So for the past 2 weeks, my operator and me, we've been working with a different stacker operator, a little short black dude. And throughout that 2 weeks, my operator has been slowly but surely becoming really annoyed with this guy because every time the press went down, this guy walked away from the press instead of joining my operator and myself to help resolve whatever issue that the press was down, help get it together and get the press running again. So one particular night, the press went down. My operator and me were up at the top of the press, and you can actually look down and see the guy sitting down on his phone. He did not come up and join my operator and me. So my operator started going on a little mini rant about how this guy is pissing him off and not doing this and not doing that. So I said to him, this reminds me of when I first started here and no one was telling me what I was supposed to be doing and everybody was getting mad at me behind my back. And he said, no, that was so-and-so. Now, the so-and-so is the guy, remember I told you, who did not want to work with me last year. He said, no, that was all about so-and-so. He caused all that and all that. So I was like, all right, that's fine. So I left it alone that night. So in my humble opinion, though, the guy knows the procedure. Because when I worked on the press next to his press that he usually work on, I've witnessed that press go down, and I've witnessed him join the crew over there and resolving it and helping web the press back up. So I honestly think that he does know the procedure, that he knows that when the press goes down to join everybody and help resolve the issue and get the press back running again. So why he is not following that procedure over on our press, I don't know. But I believe he knows the procedure. So that's the backstory. Now let me get into what actually happened that night that I did not go into work. So I went back to work on that Thursday night. I was on my way to the press, and my operator was walking towards me away from the press. So he stopped me. He said, like, hey, yo, look at this. And he showed me something on his phone. And I was in disbelief. I was like, that's not... Is that real? You know how you looking at something like, is that real? And I was like, He was like, it's real, man, it's real. So what he showed me was an article. First, it was a picture of the little short black dude, our stacker operator, and I only could see like the first couple lines of the article, and it was all about gun charges and how this dude. I'm not going to talk about too much, but let's just say it was a lot about guns, you know. And so I was in disbelief, right? So I went on to the press and everything, and at this particular time, I still did not know what happened that night. And so later on, a couple hours went by, I had a question to ask my operator, so I went on up front, asked him the question. He answered the question, and then he proceeded to tell me what happened that night. He was saying that, you know, they had a web break and he was working with the girl and him. And once again, the dude did not come over and help him and the girl web the press back up. He, I guess, had it, exploded. They had this huge altercation where they were in each other's faces, and he was telling me that the guy was all really upset and he was buckling up at him like he was going to hit him or something because they were in each other's faces and yelling and all this kind of stuff went on. So I was like, what? Get out of here. So after he told me that, I kind of just was like, you know, in the back trying to just, you know, take it all in, what he just told me, plus, you know, the article and everything. And then an hour or two later, my operator moseyed on back to where I was working, and he was like, started to tell me how His mother, now get this part, guys. This was the strangest part of this whole story. My God, this operator, he either lives with his parents or his parents live with him, whichever way. But and his girlfriend. Apparently, he goes home and tell his girlfriend and his parents or whatever, his mother, things that happen on the job. And he must have gone home at that morning and told his family or whatever about, he got into this huge altercation with this guy, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is the strangest part of this story to me. He then told me, now mind you, this guy is funny. I told you that before. And so he made what he's about to tell me seem really funny. So I guess so that I wouldn't think that it was strange. But I automatically went to strange rather than funny. Even though I was laughing with him because he's funny, at the time he was telling me, I thought it was strange. So he must have gone home and told his mother about what happened, and his mother Googled the guy. This according to him now. Googled the guy. And I'm thinking, how could your mother Google somebody unless she knows their whole name, their full name, And so he was chuckling, and I'm chuckling, and and all that kind of stuff. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, that's kind of strange. Unless you went home and said, I got in a big altercation with so-and-so, said his first and last name, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just thinking, that's weird that your mother would just Google someone. So she Googled and came up on the article, and she, according to him, gave him the article. And that's when they found out about the gun charges, this, that, and the other. The mother was, according to him, was all concerned and was like, oh my God, you gotta watch out, don't mess with him, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Now, another thing that puzzled me about the story is how everyone found out about the gun charges. Because when I got to work that night, during the course of that night, 2 other people mentioned that article to me, aside from my operator. And I'm thinking, in the back, because you guys know me, I'm an overthinker. I'm thinking, how did other people find out that quick? There wasn't that much time in between, because I came back to work the next night. And I'm thinking, and then I'm telling you guys, I almost was going to go up to him and ask him how did people find out about the article. Because he had already just now told me the story of how his mother Googled the guy and showed him the article. So he came across the article first. So he must have brought the article to work. I don't know when that could have happened, because like I said, I came back to work the next night. Nonetheless, I went back up to my operator. This was closer to us almost getting ready to get off. And I said, well, what happened to the guy? Because he wasn't at work that night. So he said that, he left and he has a meeting with the union and some other people on our job tomorrow, which would have been Friday, at 10 a.m. I said, okay. And I'm thinking to myself as well, are you going to that meeting? Because you were one half of what went down. That's what I'm thinking to myself, right? And so I came back. I worked Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, the guy that relieved me, he came into work. He came over to the back where I was. And the first thing came out of his mouth is, see what happened? Did you hear what happened to? And he named my operator. I said, no, what? What happened? He said, instead of him and that guy working it out, he should never gone into the office and mentioned it and brought the supervisor into it. And then, this was the shocker to me. He said, now, my operator and the black dude, the stack operator, are suspended. I couldn't believe. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, they are suspended until further investigation. Now, I don't know what the company is investigating. Maybe they're looking at some film, because we have cameras all over the place and they can see, what goes on all of the presses and everywhere else in the building. So maybe they going back and looking at the tapes and trying to see what happened or whatever the case may be. And that brings me to another case. That's how I know if they want to find out whether I tripped or not, they can go look at the tape. But anywho, they are suspended. My operator has not been to work, none this week, and it just feels strange without him not being there. I got this dingbat that I'm working with, and oh my God, it's just a totally new, different vibe. I miss my operator. And another thing that I thought about to end this story time is they can't fire the black dude, the little short stacker operator, without firing the operator, my operator. Because again, they both were a part of the altercation. So I'm hoping that, you know, they hurry up and make a decision and bring my operator back, because it feels weird to me with him not being there. So I miss him not being there. But anyway, that's a wrap with the story time. It was just so crazy, but yet entertaining in some parts, a mystery in some parts. It was just all over the place. But that's going to do it for today's video. As always, thank you guys for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch my videos. I appreciate you guys. You know that. And I'll see you guys the next time.